Hello. Thank you for showing an interest in learning more about long-term care. On behalf of Education Minnesota, ESI, Educators Lifetime Solutions, and Newman Long-Term Care, I'll provide you with an overview of long-term care. My name is Doug Wanyas, and I'm a financial advisor with EFS Advisors, and I'm certified in long-term care planning. In this short video, I'll walk you through what long-term care is, who will provide the care when it is needed, how you'll pay for long-term care, and provide you with the next steps if you're interested in exploring long-term care insurance as part of your financial future. All right, let's get started. I would guess many of you have experienced caregiving to a parent or a family member or a loved one. We know the toll that it takes on the caregivers when a loved one needs assistance. Long-term care is an event. It's an event that triggers the need for assistance from some caregiver. Triggers could be not being able to do 2 of the 6 activities of daily living. That would include bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, and continence. If an individual needs help in any of those 2 of those 6, that would trigger long-term care need. The other trigger would be a cognitive impairment or dementia. And that would require additional servicing if a person's cognitive ability has suffered. So when a person is in need of long-term care, who provides the care? Usually it's family. It's, as I mentioned earlier, the loved ones. It could be bringing some in-home health care specialist into the home. If dementia or Alzheimer's or cognitive impairment occurs, it could be a memory care facility or an adult daycare that would provide reprieve for the caregiver in the home. Or if it comes to the point where it's needing additional caregiving services, that leads us to then the skilled nursing facility, otherwise known as the nursing home these days. Those will be who provide long-term care in various situations. So once long-term care is needed, who's going to pay for the care and how do we pay for it? Well, obviously, the first thing we fall on is family again. The family will be responsible for providing the necessary need and care for the person who needs such care. If that's been exhausted, people rely on public programs such as Medicare and Medicaid if our funds go down to $3,000 or less. The other options of paying for care would be to self-insure. In other words, it would be self-fund. Or we can co-insure for long-term care. That would be partnering with an insurance company to share the costs of long-term care expenses. As I had mentioned, we can rely on public programs such as Medicare and Medicaid. When we're dealing with Medicare, that's basically for age 65 and older. And the way that it generally works is, without getting into the weeds for us here, Medicare is, let's say that a person falls, breaks their hip, they're hospitalized. After a hospitalization, they're going to be going into a skilled nursing facility after the hospitalization stay. The doctor refers it, and they're in the skilled nursing. For the first 20 days, Medicare will cover 100% of the costs. From days 21 to 100, it will be Medicare covering it if it meets certain conditions, such as the patient is showing signs of improvement and it's still a doctor's note. After day 100, it becomes a self-pay. And you self-pay until you reach a $3,000 threshold, and that's where Medicaid kicks in. On this slide, I've presented to you some prices of in-home care, community, which would be assisted living, and also nursing home facilities. We know that none of these are cheap. In fact, a personal story for you. A family member of mine had Alzheimer's, dementia, recently. For the past few years, they've been in memory care at $6,000 a month. Well, real recently, that individual's decline has been significant and has now been forced to go to a skilled nursing facility for the tune of $12,000 a month. So as we see the costs, we realize that long-term care is not cheap. In fact, it's quite expensive, and it can drain all of our nest egg if we don't plan properly. So how do we protect our assets a little bit? We've worked so hard to build our assets and our nest egg, and we take out car insurance to pay for any possible accident we have. We take out health insurance for any health related. We take out home insurance for any catastrophic damage to our home. But the seldom looked at is long-term care. And that can tap into our assets and our nest egg and our retirement savings as fast, if not faster, than any others. So we need to look at properly protecting our assets, and the way that we can properly protect is by co-insuring. I've experienced a family situation where co-insurance did not exist, and the burden placed on the families to provide the necessary care became a real sticking point for members. Some wanted to provide the care, some others didn't. It became a fracture to a family. So there are two options with long-term care insurance. One is a traditional long-term care insurance, which functions similar to your car insurance or your homeowner's insurance. You pay the premium, and if you don't use it, you don't have any benefits that you're going to use. And we hope someday we don't need to use it, because that means we've lived a good long life and we haven't burdened our family and loved ones. The other possibility is the linked benefits, long-term care insurance. This is life insurance linked with long-term care insurance. So this provides, if I don't use the benefits, I then have a death benefit for my beneficiaries. These two options are suitable options for the co-insurance model to protect the assets and to, more importantly, protect those whom you love. That's the point of long-term care insurance. Again, I'm Doug Wanyas with EFS Advisors, and on behalf of Education Minnesota, ESI, Educators Lifetime Solutions, and Newman Long-Term Care, thank you for your interest in learning more about long-term care. Please reach out if you have any questions. Best wishes on a successful planning for your financial future. Thank you.